My goodness, we jumped straight into the cockpit, ladies and gentlemen, with Graham Rahal, multi-race winner on the IndyCar circuit. Oh, so close to winning a couple of big-time races, including the Indianapolis 500 a couple of years ago when a wheel came off coming out of the pits. Are you kidding me? That was your race to win. I think you know that, Graham. A couple other times you were in major contention, but the bottom line is, as Graham Rahal, I know he won his first race ever as a youngster, as a teenager at St. Pete, on the streets of St. Pete. Yes, he used to run wild on the streets of St. Pete. But this Columbus, Ohio, New Albany, Ohio native, Graham Rahal, have you ever had a bigger win than about, what was that, 6-7 years ago at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course when wearing an Ohio State motif helmet, you dominated?
Hey, you want me to age you? That was
age me.
10 or 11 years ago now.
11 years ago. Wow.
Yeah, 2015. So that ages you. Yeah, ages me too.
Ages you too, big time, brother.
that was a great, that was the highlight of my career for sure. And don't know that I'll ever have. Even if I won Mid-Ohio again, I'm not, Ohio State had won the championship that year. Me, it was just so many good things kind of going on in life. I got married that year, and, to win there is just a massive moment in my career. But obviously I'm excited to go back this weekend. Hope we get a great crowd, but obviously with the 250th anniversary of this beautiful country, God knows, but we got a cool F-35 inspired paint scheme for this weekend on the aerial car, and I'm excited about that. And hopefully we can, have a good one, man.
Yeah, but you're not answering a question that I subliminally asked you. Why don't you put that helmet on again, my friend?
Well, last time I wore that stuff, this story. But last time I wore that stuff, I got approval to wear it, and then
that's true.
Week and a half before the race, I got a call. Hey, we need to meet with you from the university. You're not allowed to wear that. Oh, okay. Basically, what it was they just wanted to strong arm me and having to give the university some money. So we made a donation, and we were allowed to wear the stuff, but. That was kind of a bummer, to be honest. But this weekend on the F-35 scheme car, if you ever look at the F-35, you look at a lot of air defense stuff that we have, right? Planes. On the tail section, they'll always have something for their state, right? Down where you're from, Alabama, they got the A on there, and in Ohio, they got the Block O. So on the tail section of the IndyCar this week, and we have the red stripe like the tails do of the Ohio National Guard planes, and we got the Block O on it. So we will have a little bit there, but not too much for sure.
Yeah, but that's still sweet though. I mean, it's the details that count, right?
Oh, it's sweet. No, it looks awesome. So we're pumped to get in that car.
By the way, I always thought the F-22 was a better fighter, but we won't get into that debate right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, the F-35. The F-35 almost melts tarmacs, because it's got that one engine. But my goodness, the BTUs coming out of the rear end of that thing, especially when it goes vertical takeoff, almost.
I'd fly any of them.
Me too.
I don't care which.
I would too. I always thought it'd be great to just be up there like an F-16, single engine, point your nose at a cloud and fly to that cloud. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I know you did it. I'm saying it'd be good for me to do it, but go ahead. Yeah, what was that like, by the way?
Come on, Ohio National Guard. We got to make this happen, right? We got to get a legend of our state, Tim May. We got to make this happen. We're going to get Tim May a ride at an F-16. You got to do it.
I would do it in a heartbeat.
The most crazy thing I've ever done in my life.
What more than anything else stood out about it? Because, like I've always said about you guys, when you're racing, speed is relative. If you're going 220 and the guy next to you is going 220, well, if he's going 221, he's going a mile an hour faster than you. You understand what I'm saying? The danger is there, but but you don't recognize it maybe until the turns. But go ahead. What was the coolest thing about that ride?
The performance on the takeoff was insane. I mean, most of us have been on an airplane, right? And you go down the runway, it kind of takes a little while. You start to lift off, you feel like you're not going fast enough, sort of thing. Like, how's this thing going to get off the ground? Like, you don't have that in a fighter jet. Like, when that thing starts to go, it absolutely hauls ass. It's insane. I mean, even compared to an IndyCar, the initial acceleration isn't like an IndyCar. But I remember I did 15,000 feet vertical takeoff straight up, right? Remember the pilot said, hey, when you hear me say 200, get ready to go because we're going at 450, I think it was. And I was like, that's a big spread in mile per hour, but all right. I mean, we get going, we get about 100 knots or whatever, 100 miles an hour. And he lifts the plane up like 15 feet. You feel it kind of like jump up. So now you're off the ground. The minute that the landing gear comes in, that thing just flat out went. I mean, it was insane to hear the 200, 250, 300, 350. I mean, just bam, and up you went. It was, the wildest thing ever. And, once you're in the air, like, what's most impressive is just the agility of the plane. I mean,
yes,
it is insane how fast it can turn, how hard it can turn, the G-forces it can pull. Just it's a wild thing. But, I mean, certainly one of the coolest jobs on the planet to be a fighter pilot.
Yeah, I remember I was over there in Indianapolis one year. The Thunderbirds did their little practice. You know how they practice on Saturday, what they're going to do and stuff. And then I was with you. We were shooting the bull about something, and those guys showed up. The pilots did. They came in to I don't know if to get autographs or whatever they were there for, and it was just cool talking to those guys. Yeah.
I flew with the Thunderbirds, so that's why I think they came over, because I had just flown with them.
Yes.
A couple years before. But yeah, it's insane. I mean, it's a wild experience. So I mean, look, I'm inspired right now. I'm going to make this happen. We got to get Tim May in the back of an F-16.
I would do it in a heartbeat. I'm actually in better shape than I was even 10 years ago. I've been working out, and you know me, I don't go to IndyCar races pretty much anymore, but of course my head is still way into it, because I keep telling everybody I'm trying to retire, but it's like chopping down a tree. You got to, instead of just chopping down a big tree, you chop off some of the limbs first. Right. And, I miss going out to dinner with Bruce Martin every for a month over in Indianapolis. That's for sure. But no, hey, if you can make it happen, I know the lieutenant governor personally, maybe he can help me do it.
You can't retire. You got too much. I mean, look, I tell you this all the time, but you're a legend. You're a legend back home. And it's, when you're that ingrained in everything that goes on at Ohio State and everything that goes on at, even in our sport and racing, and it's hard to ever step away, because, as you know, your passion runs deeper than anything else. Your love for it too. Yes. You're just as hooked as all of us. I mean, you and I could text for months about Ohio State football and never stop. I mean, and that passion is hard to ignore.
Well, hey, I want to get to that in a minute, but I do want to ask you this weekend at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. You're always a hometown favorite, as you well know, having grown up and I love how you list Columbus, Ohio as your hometown, which is pretty cool. From, instead of the Ohio State University, you say Columbus, Ohio, but that's because I don't think you didn't even go to Columbus, Ohio State, right, at all, but your sister graduated from there, right?
My sister did, yeah. I didn't graduate from college.
Yeah.
I never made it that far.
Yeah. Well, I went to college. I was like John Belushi, 7 years of college down the toilet, but from Animal House. But I wanted to ask you this. Of course, your dad went to Denison, applied his trade in the hills, in and around Lynn's Fruit Farm, et cetera, over there. But I digress. I want to ask you this. Obviously, last week, you're blocking there on that last lap. You're gonna wrap up. What was that going to be, your fourth podium this year? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, number 4.
It's going to be your fourth podium finish. I mean, there's, you and I were texting several times over the last couple of months. There was a definite resurgence to you guys, to Rahal Letterman Lanigan racing, in my opinion, this season. And I think having Jay Fry there is one of the things that's helped it, but also Brian Barnhart being part of the group and stuff. But, I don't know if racing, this is what's crazy about racing is, as opposed to qualifying, in racing, you can have somebody run into you and that's the end of your day. And you and Will Power had a tete-a-tete there on that last lap. And you were three turns from the finish. You were going to finish third and be on the podium again for that's going to be the fourth time in like 6 races, isn't it? Or five or 6 races.
Yeah, it's been a good run. But,
yeah.
At the end of the day, we're still 11th in points, I think. We're still close.
Yes.
Yeah, I would have liked to finish that off because not only just to finish on the podium, but I think we would have been 7th or 8th in points, which would have been the best that I've been in at this point in the season since 2016 or 17. So, that would have been great. But, I still have a lot of reasons to be positive for this weekend. A lot of reasons to be positive for the races to come for the rest of the year. We have work to do. There's no doubt about that. We have a lot of work to do. But I do think that we are as a team in a much better place. And I feel like the momentum is kind of rolling for us to get better as we go too. So yeah, I'm excited for what's ahead. I think that we've got a lot of potential. We a lot of great people on the team. Brian Barnhart has made a massive, difference for us just from a strategy perspective. He's just a really pure racer. And he's done a wonderful job with that. And, hopefully we can keep that going for sure. Mid-Ohio too, just so hot, so physical at that place. Really separates the men from the boys, at that track, particularly over a race length. And so we're going to have to be prepared for that. I've been hydrating all week long, getting ready for this. I know it's going to be toasty. And, I'm excited to get back home and hopefully have a great weekend.
Mick Marotti runs through your veins, man. Mick Marotti always hydrating. They have those things where they'll be in a meeting room and they all have a thing of water, and all of a sudden he'll walk in the room and he goes, "Everybody drink up," and they, It's that's part and parcel. The last thing you want is being dehydrated in a race car going 180 miles an hour down that back straight. Go ahead now. No
doubt. I had a cramp a few races ago. Actually, it was in practice, luckily, but my leg locked up, and dude, there's nowhere to room. You can't stretch. There's no room to stretch. You're just stuck in this tube. So that was quite painful.
What did you do? What'd you do? How did you deal with that? Huh?
I just keep going. You just got to wait for the burn to go away. It takes a few laps normally, particularly on an oval, where you're kind of full throttle. You can't let off the throttle, so you just got to hold through the pain. And eventually,
there's no cruise control. Yeah,
it's terrible though. Terrible.
Well, was it left leg or right leg? By the way,
it was right. It was at St. Louis, I think, on the oval. Terrible.
Wow. You could do like Rick Mears, reach over your left foot if there's enough room down there. But you remember how he?
But I tried. There's barely. Yeah. It's tight. It's tight in there.
Hey, so by the way, you're in Indy now. Where are you as we speak? You're where?
I'm out right now. I'm out in Incline Village, out in Lake Tahoe.
Oh, okay.
My in-laws have a place out here, so my daughters and my wife kind of hub out of here in the summer. We actually just came out here a couple of days ago, but they'll be here. I'll kind of bounce back and forth now. We race so much. Mid-Ohio, we get one weekend off, but I go testing next weekend. The week after that, I've got Nashville, but I've got testing before that. Then I got to go to Washington, D.C. for a Congress trip. So it's just a lot going on. So the girls are out here having fun, and I'll bounce around.
Graham, you've heard me ask you this before, but I'll ask you again. Like you just talked about the heat. I think it's 98 right now outside as we record this in midweek. It's going to run on Friday of race week coming up. The Honda Indy 200 brought to you by something Acura, something at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. But dude, how do you deal with 2 hours in a race car when it's that hot? I know you got fluids and all that kind of stuff, but ladies and gentlemen, these almost $1 million race cars don't come with air conditioning. They don't even come with power steering. Am I correct on that?
Correct. Um, it is
How do
very
you do? I mean,
physical. It is very
yeah,
physical. It's very physical. You burn a couple, at least at Mid Ohio, you probably burn 2,000 calories in the race.
yeah,
Average heart rate for 2 hours would be somewhere in the 170, 165 to 170 mark for 2 hours in duration. I wear a whoop. Other guys wear various other things. I really wear it just to get a knowledge base of what's going on. But it's extremely physical. There's no, timeouts here. There's no 3 and outs where you get a breather. There's none of that stuff. It's you're full on. And honestly, at a place like Mid Ohio, you kind of pray for some yellow flags, because the yellow
yeah,
flag periods are our intermissions, right, where we can kind of have a
yes,
second to take a breath. So for me, I think that's really important. But no, it's going to be physical this weekend, and as the talent around us has gotten better, driving wise, that means the races have gotten harder because everybody drives at a harder pace as the cars have become more reliable. It's not like in my dad's era where cars did tend to have more mechanical issues, right? So you had to drive in
yeah,
the race kind of conserving your car. That's not the way it is anymore. You drive these things like it's qualifying every lap, and it beats you up, man. But that's part of the deal for everybody, for sure.
yeah. I was going to say, the thing you've always had in common with your dad. I don't like to compare fathers and sons because there's always differences. Because you know what, your mother wasn't his mother. You know what I mean? But
Exactly.
but the thing that the thing that's always stood out to me is just how relentless you are in a race, just like your dad was. I mean, your
Well,
dad seemed,
you gotta be. You gotta be.
yeah,
But look,
but not
it's like,
everybody's like that. Yeah,
no, but it to me, what I like about racing, and people don't think about it, it's Jermaine Matthews against Jeremiah Smith. It's
yeah,
it's mano a mano battle, right? I mean, it is. It is. And when you're out there and you're racing against these guys, you're racing against the best dudes. But there's that mental edge. There's that physical edge. There's all of the things that come into play a role. I think that's what I've always enjoyed the most out of racing is me versus the guy in front or the guy behind. How can I defend him, or
yes,
how can I pass him? How do I wear him out? How do I force him into a mistake? How do I show my nose into the keyhole at Mid Ohio and get him to lock an inside front tire and go wide? Like, what are the things that I can do to cause that? And that's where I'd
yeah,
say there's a variance in a lot of guys. There's a lot of guys out there that race Indy cars that are ultra fast but have no mental strength. It's just like an athlete in football or anything else. You got guys that are beyond this world, talented, but man, they fall to
yes,
pieces, when the first puck's fired at them. I mean, it's just the
yes.
truth. It's just the way that it goes. And so, to me, I think that's what I enjoy the most about it, for sure.
Yeah, and I would think, for example, what happened at Road America a week and a half ago, you busted your butt to get to where you were in that race with less than a half a lap to go, and then what happens to you? When Willpower hits you from behind. Of course, you're guarding your spot, but the point is, it's just like you just through your brain as you're spinning, and you end up hitting the outside wall there a little, pretty hard. But I was just thinking, you're thinking, oh my God, I worked my rear end off. I'll say that instead of butt. I worked my rear end off to get to this point, and then boom, it's gone in a heartbeat, right? I mean, that's just got to be,
Yeah, but that's
I don't know,
that's racing.
deflating.
I mean, it
Yeah,
is, but that's racing. And I mean, what really was a bummer, like I said, was the points. The points was the biggest thing that I was like, come
yeah,
on, because we'd worked so hard to get to where we were in points. But having said that,
right.
honestly, it's you turn the page and here we go, right? We got
Yeah,
another weekend ahead of us. And after Mid Ohio, we got another weekend and another weekend and another weekend. And soon enough, the calendar will be over. But for me, we're not a championship contender right now. It's just the facts. Palou's way too far out. Like, there's no way you're going to win a championship. So for me, what we are is, can we sneak into the top 7, top 8 in points? And that's what I'm
yeah,
really focused on. Now, having 4 podiums on the year would have been amazing for us. I mean, it's the most podiums that we would have had since 2016, maybe in one
I think you're
year.
right. Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
would have been awesome, but there's opportunities ahead. As I tell our guys, just got to turn the page. Guys doing a great job in the pits. They're still P2 in the year for the pit report. Pit stop competition. I said, guys, we got to turn the page. We got to move on. I mean, that's really all that we can do at this stage.
I know you got Lewis Oliver, but dude, is it crazy? Your teammate is the son of Michael Schumacher.
Yeah. He and they're great. I mean, he's just such a great guy. Mick is an amazing guy. His mother is a sweetheart. They're great people. So it is crazy though, because obviously I grew up like most people in my generation and idolized Michael Schumacher.
Yeah.
And whether you're a racing fan or not, you knew that name.
Yes.
It's hard not to. I mean, back in that era, it was, Tiger Woods, Michael Jordan, and Michael Schumacher. I mean, really, without having, this stupid thing at our fingertips all the time, right? And Twitter to go see what the hell the Blue Jackets have done today, which is not a lot of good so far. We don't.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. Yeah.
There's only so many, guys out there that you really worldwide were household names, and Schumacher was one of them. So it's been great to have Mick for sure.
Hey, real quick, I know it's setting you up, but I don't mean to do that. Is he talented? I mean, what have you, because F1, you're either with a decent team or you're not. I don't mean to blow up the myth about F1, but is he talented? How does it show?
No, he's talented. He's 100%. Mick's got the talent. That's not a problem. I think, this year we've not done as good of a job as a team for him as we should have. And I think at times he hasn't done the job that he probably expects from himself. He's had a few penalties and things that, he's probably, wish he could take back. But overall, I got Louis Foster on the one side. I got Mick on the other. And I think that both of them have great futures ahead of them. I think it's going to be really critical that Mick stays here next year and gets another shot at it. You cannot expect to show up in IndyCar racing, do 1 year and kick ass. Isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Yeah.
It's too good. Everybody's too good. I mean, it's just the truth. The competitiveness, too good. Other drivers, too good now. So you need time to get in here and develop. And I hope that Mick will do that.
I think it said Lewis Oliver. That's the name of a former football player. That's
sorry,
Louis Foster.
I picked up on it. I knew where you're going.
I know. I could tell when I said it. I said that wasn't the right name. But hey, he can catch my attention this weekend by winning. Hey, real quick, dude. Everybody who knows you and knows me when I talk about you, you're the consummate local sports fan. Meaning, you live and breathe Ohio State football. You know Mark Pantoni personally. Forget about knowing Ryan Day personally. You know Mark Pantoni personally, which is why, as you know, part and parcel to why Ohio State is what it is right now. Maybe the elite program in the country, if not among the top 3 elite programs in the country. You live and die. I mean, you live and die with the Columbus Blue Jackets. That means you've done a lot of dying.
That's painful.
Especially the last several days. But I mean, let's just take football, for example. How fired up are you about what could be this season? What gives you the feeling that this could be a special season again? Because, you still got to win the games no matter what you got on the roster, no matter how it's arrayed.
For me, I thought last year could have been a special season. Ohio State, when it comes to talent, there's no year that you can say there's a deficit. There's just not. Last year I thought in the playoffs was obviously the one game was, the Big Ten championship was disappointing. I was there. Just really the offense just never went. And I mean, you can give Indiana some opportunity or, some credit. I mean, I live in Indiana, so, I think and I saw Coach Signetti not long ago, and I told him it's the most insane thing I've ever witnessed in my entire life. But to me,
and I'm more than wait a minute, I'm twice as old as you are. And it's the most insane thing I've witnessed. Go ahead.
I mean, turn that around in 2 years, make a national champion is wild. But having said that, I still thought they had way too many opportunities to blow that game open and just never did it.
Yeah.
Never did it. And some of that you can sit and say, oh, Julian Sand was young. No, I mean, obviously we are moving on from our field goal kicker. That's going to be an important thing. That was way too many points have been given up over the last handful of years in that department. And I'm not saying that department's easy, but a 30-yard chip shot ought to be made, period, let alone multiple of them being missed. Okay, so
move to OT.
The Georgia game wasn't an easy field goal. Okay, I get that. But there were several in Michigan. There were several, at the Big Ten championship that, flat out should have been made. Anyway, I digress, as you would say. But for me, what I'm interested to see is the talent is there, period. Got some great new 27 recruits this week. The talent's there. Does Julian Sand have the dog in him? He's got the talent in him. Gotcha. But does he have the Will Howard dog? Does he have the Joe Burrow? Like, that's where
JT Barrett. Yeah.
JT Barrett, right? JT Barrett never had the talent that Julian Sand had. It's an obvious statement. But those guys had a desire to not lose that was very hard to ever overcome or beat, right? And to me, that's going to be a big thing this year. I mean, Julian has the arm talent. He's got the most beautiful ball I've ever seen in my life, right? I mean, he's insane. Yeah. And when you've got Jeremiah and all these other athletes that you got, obviously Chris Henry's going to be a massive addition. The kid's from Southern Cal. My wife's from there, so I've watched him, over the years, or seen, a lot of his highlights on the news and stuff out there. I mean, you're stacked. You are absolutely stacked. To me, that's what I'm intrigued to see. Does Julian have that? And then, do the running backs have it? When you look at what Travion and Quinshawn had together, both, number one, had the dog in them. But number two were great blocking backs. They did a lot in the backfield. They did a lot of protection. They did a lot of extra stuff, even in the pass game. Do we have that mentality? Because that's, if you look at Indiana, I met Charlie Becker the other day, actually. And when you look at him, Charlie Becker's not Jeremiah Smith, not even close.
But
you could tell in those games at the end of the year, he wanted to absolutely kill everybody and prove himself. Right. And by the way, he's no bigger than me. I thought the guy was gonna be like some big guy. I mean, he wasn't wasn't as big as I expected. But you got to have that dog, which Jeremiah has, by the way. I'm not talking about him. He definitely has it. Just everybody else around's got to do the same. But to me, I think it is going to be a special year. And dude, I rely on you, and I call Pantoni. Pantoni is always. He's never going to give you the highs or the lows. He's the corporate man when it comes to me and that. He'll give me some insight on certain people. Just as this one guy named Tim May told me after a guy's freshman year spring football, hey, there's this guy named Michael Thomas. He's going to be a hell of a wide receiver. I don't know if you remember telling me that. Sure enough, 3 years later, look at him, right? So, although his pro career fizzled pretty fast, but to me,
he was pretty good. Before it fizzled, it sizzled.
Oh, dude, he was unbelievable with Drew Brees. Oh my God, those two together. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah.
But
go ahead.
That's going to be the question. Just do they have that mental edge? Because when you're Ohio State, this is a clear thing to say, but you're getting everybody's A game, dude. You're going to get everybody's best shot. I don't care if it's Bowling Green or if it's Texas or if it's Alabama in 2 years or if it's Michigan. It doesn't matter. You're going to get everybody's best shot, and they're going to throw every single trick thing they can dream up at you. And my opinion is we got to be able to throw it back. We got to be able to, respond equally. And sometimes I think we got pretty conservative in that regard. But look, we'll see what happens. We all can be frustrated at times with Coach Day. I've met him before, but I can't say that he wouldn't know me. But to me, we, sometimes people get frustrated about the play calling and this, that, the other thing. We got the best coach in football by record. We really do. And we're blessed as Ohio State fans. We're always in the hunt. We're always in the hunt. Dude, if we had a 3-loss season, we would be suicidal. right?
Yeah.
But for most people, that's every year, if not worse. So we're blessed to have the guys that we've got, and I'm glad Matt Patricia stayed. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, I wanted to ask you, for example, what you were talking about, just like a race car, if it's not totally solid across the board, you find out at the worst point in a race, what happened, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, right guard to me was that position all last year, and Indiana and Miami took advantage of that big time. I'm not naming names, but I think they feel pretty good about what this offensive line can be about across the board this year. I don't think I'm talking about Ohio State. Now, did they dominate a bunch of games? Yeah, because of inferiority across the ball from them. But into three. Yeah.
Ask Ezekiel Elliott what Zach Martin and Tyron Smith and all those boys did for him at the Dallas Cowboys. And when that started to fall apart, ask him how it went. Right? I mean, it just the truth.
Because everybody, at the end of a year, everybody sees what your weakest link is. Now, can you, as the opposing defense, take advantage of it? Indiana and Miami definitely did. I mean, Reuben Bain, dude. Yeah, there's a stud for you.
He was good. But I mean, to me, like I said, I think the O-line's it's a critical area that we all knew was going to be.
Oh yeah.
Look, everybody
I think
knew last year was going to be the question mark, and hell, man, I got to be honest, I haven't seen a whole lot of O-line recruits coming. I saw a couple good D-line ones for 27, but I haven't seen a lot of O's, coming across the board. They feel really good. They've got 6 O-line guys committed for that. I mean, they've made it a priority, number one. Number two, they've gotten the best guys out of the state of Ohio, and then they went down to middle of Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, and get one of the top offensive line recruits in the country, number one prospect in the state. I did see that, and I did see that we kept a couple of guys from Ohio, which to me as an Ohio boy is critical because it's hard to train people that aren't from the state of Ohio just how terrible the state or the team up north is. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're from a different place and you weren't born and raised the way that I was, you don't fully get that, and you need that edge. You flat out need that edge, and I think that's what Coach Meyer had, right? It's what Coach Tressel had. Those guys they were here and they hated it. They hated that team, and I think.
By the way, I think the highlight of your career was winning 2 straight races in Detroit.
Yeah, I know.
Way back when.
I actually met Coach Whittingham this year. I met Coach Whittingham in the Detroit race this year. And I told him, I said, look, Coach, I got to tell you something. We got a mutual friend, Mr. Coach Meyer. And he said, oh, I love Coach. I said, I can't imagine how your relationship is now. It's got to be a little awkward. He said, no, he's good. But I told him, I said, Coach, I got to tell you something. I've been a massive fan of what you did at Utah, but I just can't like you anymore. Straight up can't like you. And he was like, oh, I get it. And, I watched your dad, and I loved watching your dad in 86. I mean, he pulled it right out, 86 Indy 500 winner.
Wow.
I mean, he knew, which I was pretty impressed. But look, I mean, they're going to be solid too, as much as we hate to say. Coach Whittingham doesn't mess around. And so we got some battles on our hands. But obviously, Coach Day's had his battles already, which Coach Whittingham and come out on top. So hopefully we can keep that going.
Yeah, actually, I think you're supposed to be calling him Coach Whittingham, and you cross out the M. Coach Whittingham.
Yeah, well,
But I digress. I'm just messing with you. Hey, last thing, as you well know, I told you beforehand I wanted to talk to you. Dude, how many times can you rebuild a franchise or a program, whatever you call hockey, whatever they call it, franchise and program? What are you rebuilding it to? I mean, what's the model? The one time they advanced, what was it, 1 round or 2 rounds in the Stanley Cup playoffs? I mean, how long are you as a fan going to tolerate we'll get them next year?
Well, as we've been on here, Jed Harrison committed to Ohio State. Look at that.
Well, there you go. There you go. Good news for Ohio State. Who committed to the Blue Jackets?
None. That's why I was refreshing to see. And
Yeah.
Tim, I love hockey, and I just don't get
Yeah.
this. I just don't get this, and I'm not going to sit and tell you I'm smarter than all the general managers that have been with the Blue Jackets. I'm not.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
dude, like, I don't get it. I just don't understand what is going on, and I don't understand. You've missed the playoffs the last 2 years by 1 point. By 1
Yeah.
point. To me,
Yeah.
like, why are we
It's crazy.
rebuilding? I can make this fairly simple. You don't need better defense. You don't. You really don't need better goaltending because on average, they were pretty damn good. Jet Greaves was amazing. Elvis, when he was in, did a damn good job today. Good this year.
Yep.
Your top goal scorer can't be a D-man. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
go out, spend some money, get a couple good scorers. I mean, you let Mason Marchment go, who was a huge addition to us at the end of the year. That's crap to me. And he only signed a $5 million per year deal, which, $5 million is a lot of money, but not in that sport anymore for a top tier guy.
Nope.
And he was one of our top point scorers in the last, quarter or third of the season. You can't. Why? Like, why do you just let this guy go? Right? I mean, since Johnny came in, and it's still one of the harshest things, the way that, and as a young dad, like for Meredith and I, it still hurts to this day to think about Johnny Gaudreau. But he came in and he was supposed to be that guy, our goal scorer, and obviously never really got the shot, which stings. But like, dude, we don't have that guy. Like, I mean, Marchenko is damn good, but like, he doesn't do it every single night. Kent Johnson hasn't done it every single night. Boone's been a great captain, but we can all agree Boone's not ever going to be a 50 goal scorer. But when you look at the great teams that are out there, sometimes their defense isn't even as good as the Blue Jackets. Often the Blue Jackets have pretty damn good stats on D. But they can put up 4 goals like that.
Yeah.
And we're praying for a 4-goal night. I mean, like, that is a season high for the Blue Jackets. I mean, I just don't get it because I'm not smart enough to it. But to me, I don't understand why we can't go spend a little bit of money and go get a couple top-tier guys, because that's all you're missing, in my opinion. I'm not on the inside, but in my opinion, all you need is a couple of guys that can perennially score 35 to 40 goals, which is a lot, but that's what the top guys do. That's what they do every single year. And we just don't have that, and we've really never had that sense. I mean, Cam
on
would
a consistent basis.
Yeah, and Rick Nash, who's the greatest. I mean, I just don't know, dude. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not engaged enough on that side. I watch every single game. I do not miss a Blue Jackets game. I love it as much as anything. No matter where I'm at, I click it on. And got to tell you, though, if Werenski walks, which is looking likely, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to stay loyal and stay with this. It's going to be hard because, give that guy the moon. Give him the ownership of the franchise. I mean, the dude is the best defenseman, arguably, that we've ever had. He's an idol in American hockey now. He's a guy that people want to play with, right? That's key.
Yep.
Just like an IndyCar.
And want to go see. Yeah.
Just like an IndyCar racing, though. You got to be a driver that people want to work with. You get good mechanics, you get good engineers, you get good team principal, you get all these things. That's Zach Werenski. How do you let Zach Werenski walk? I mean, I just don't like. I don't get that. And by the way, I have a lot of buddies who are D-men in the league. One of my best buddies is the top D-man is faced on the side of the building in St. Louis, Colton Parayko, and. Parayko, all he does is rave about how good Werenski is. He is the respect of all the other dudes. You can't let. I mean, this guy's won a Stanley Cup, played on the Olympic gold. I mean, Colton's done a lot of great stuff. You can't. Man, like I said, it's getting hard.
It's
getting hard to stay.
Everybody's got their.
stay
Everybody's
loyal.
got
When
their
you
breaking
need
point. Yeah.
I mean, because
When you see Werenski, yeah.
I mean, you just can't.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't be told that we're going to continue to rebuild and rebuild and rebuild and rebuild. And then we let good guys go, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
maybe the young Russian kid, maybe he wasn't the best fit under Evanson or whatever, but then he goes off to Pittsburgh and absolutely lights it up, right? Showcases the potential that we all thought he had. And to me, that's the other thing. Clearly, the environment hasn't been very good in the Blue Jackets from a coaching perspective in many years. But it was also clear that Bones was able to turn that around for a long time. And, give him an offseason to get some of these guys whipped in shape. Then let's see what can happen. Oh, man.
That's like Aaron Porcelain. Yeah. Aaron Porcelain said this on I co-hosted a radio show last week on last Saturday after the stuff came out about Werenski and was Marchenko and like he said, if you're Bonus, you're sitting there going, these are going to be the pillars. These are going to be the pillars of what I'm going to build. And instead now, it's like you've inherited this refurbishment program, and now it's you got to find the pillars. Right. When your pillars work. Yeah.
To me, it makes no sense. And
yeah,
I just don't, I just don't get it. But again, maybe I'm just an idiot, and all of us.
No, you're a consummate fan. You know the hockey, the people, the players. I mean, that's the reason I wanted to get your take on it, just from a frustration standpoint of you're always thinking, based on this, that, and the other, this is going to be the year. And
hey, I'm as loyal as the day is.
And then you find out.
I'm as loyal as the day is long. But I got to tell you, man, like, this is a breaking point for me because
wow,
I just don't. I just don't get it. You cannot go to bed at night thinking that the team management is doing everything that they possibly can to make our city a shining star. And by the way, Columbus, Ohio is a shining star. Columbus, Ohio is a great place to be. Living in Dublin, living in New Albany where I grew up, living in the surrounding areas, Upper Arlington. Columbus, Ohio has some of the greatest suburbs in America. It's a great place to be, right? That's why most of these guys come back and live there when they're done.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? Like Ohio State football players.
Yet in the meantime, they can't get the people to support them. Get the collection of guys together to make the team a consistent playoff contending and winning team, right?
Yeah.
Whereas every other city is doing that. Even Raleigh, North Carolina. Raleigh is a small little town, okay? But yet they can manage to get the best guys all the time. But here we are in a market that is so attractive to be, that in a city that is so vibrant and alive, that's got Ohio State, that's got all these great sports teams and everything else going on. And yet we let these dudes just walk all the time. And it gets back to like that winning culture, the winning culture of being like, why are you a player and you want to go to Ohio State? Because sometimes it's not just NIL, because some other schools are going to pay you more. You want to go to Ohio State because you know you're going to freaking win.
Yeah.
And we've got to make the Blue Jackets got to be that. You want to go to Columbus because it's a great place to live. It's a great place to have a young family. It's a great place to be a young guy, High Street and everything else. But also
golf.
It's a winning culture. It's a winning culture. It's a place that you go because you're going to win. But we've never done that. We've always, every 2 years, let's let Rick Nash go. Let's let, Panarin, who I understand Panarin didn't want to stay. But even Duchesne and all those guys at that time, you had such a good opportunity with some great players who, by the way, are still having great success now with the Dallas Stars and, with all these other players. Like, to me, that was the disappointment. It just feels like all the time. I mean, we got rid of Cam. We got rid of Cam Atkinson for Voracek, right? And Voracek barely ever played. Like, give me Cam Atkinson every day of the week. Cam Atkinson is the consummate pro. He's a Columbus, Ohio guy. He's still there. And guess what?
Yep.
Like we talked about Ohio State football, Cam Atkinson was a dog on ice. He was the man. He'd do anything for his team. I watched him take a skate blade to the eyeball and play the next game.
Yeah.
Cam Atkinson had it. But yet we make these to tell he's past his prime. Oh, okay. Yeah, great. Good trade that we made there, right? We got a guy who didn't even play. It's like when we got, what was it, Nathan Horton or whoever, didn't even do anything, or Jeff Carter. Like, yeah, those were great. I mean, those are obviously past regime. But you get my point. As a Blue Jackets fan,
I get your point.
The Blue Jackets fan, it's like, dude, you get rid of Werenski and you're probably close to getting rid of me. I just don't get it. Pay the man.
Yeah.
Make him the highest paid defenseman in the history of the sport. He deserves it. Single-handedly, he wins us a lot of games.
Yes.
A lot of games. Yeah. Pay him. And
he's
I know
it's
not just about money to him. It's like when I was with some buddies that played for the Colts recently. This is a couple years ago. I was talking to them, and they just just drafted Richardson and stuff. And a couple of these guys said to me, like, bro, I got like 3-4 more years left to play. Like, I got to leave because I can't rebuild. Like, my lifespan is past rebuilding. That's Zach Werenski. He's still young, maybe not even 30 yet. But he ain't going to play till he's 45. Like, he's got to go somewhere with a chance. He's won an Olympic gold now. Got to go somewhere with a chance to win a Stanley Cup. And for some reason, the Columbus Blue Jackets just can't put the culture together to be that place. So,
but when you, like you said, when you have a pillar that you're building that is part of your culture and it departs, now either the building of that culture, because this, even though you play a pretty, you have a team, but once you're on the racetrack, you're driving the car. You know what I mean? And but a hockey, you got to have four lines of quality. You've got to have a locker room that everybody is on the same page when it comes to the focus, which is, as Bo Schembechler once said, the team. Even Jim Tressel uses that line too. You've hardly ever given it a chance to grow. It's like once it kind of sprouts. Yeah, of course. When you're playing sports and you're playing pro sports, you want to make money.
But it's also what I said a minute ago about culture. Like,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Columbus Blue Jackets have a culture publicly, fan base, other players, that they're not committed to winning.
Right.
That's the way people believe of the Columbus Blue Jackets. So if I am Connor McDavid, let's just say, I would never even consider going to Columbus. They could pay me as much as they wanted. But, like, I would know that the commitment's not going to be there to put all the other pieces of the puzzle together. And by the way, if we didn't quite get there, we're probably going to let go of our biggest guys that are around me. I mean, if you lose Marchenko,
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
If you lose Marchenko, you've lost your top goal scoring guy. Okay, I don't know what he's like off the ice. That's a whole different conversation. But I never heard anything bad. But who knows? But if you lose Zach Werenski is the Columbus Blue Jackets. You go around the country. I go to Canada, right? Race in Canada. Everybody who knows anything about hockey, which there's a lot, all they talk about is how badass Zach Werenski is. Go out to Southern California. Oh, man, Zach Werenski, he's a legend. Go wherever. Zach Werenski. He is the Columbus Blue Jackets. On a public scale, they wouldn't be able to name one other name on the team, and that's not to be a jerk. It's the truth. They wouldn't be able to name one other guy on the team. But yet you're going to let that guy go. And if I'm another player, like, that to me is like we signed somebody from Lombard or whatever. Somebody said to me, a buddy of mine, Canadian guy who's a diehard hockey guy, goes, oh, he's good because he kind of upsets people. Well, I look at his stats. He had like 5 goals and 7 points last year. Like, really? Like, that's what we need? Yeah, and they're like, well, he's tough. You know what? I got Matthew Olivier. And Matthew Olivier is 10 times tougher than anybody else. Okay. I don't need I don't need 100 tough guys. I need guys to put some points on the board. And sadly, right now, the guy that does that for us is Zach Werenski too. So not only is he the face of the franchise, he's our point scorer. He's our best D man. He's everything. And I don't know. Like I said, you got me all wound up here on a Wednesday. But
I know. But I knew I would.
I just think like we're getting to that point now that I don't know, man. It's hard to cheer for.
It's tough.
It's hard to cheer for.
You remind me of my middle kid, Corey. Big Browns fan, big Indians fan. Now, at least the Indians have tasted it a little bit. The Browns have done nothing of repute for the first quarter of this century. The Blue Jackets have been around for the first. But he's still loyal, and I just go, "What are you loyal?" Of course, he's a big Ohio State fan too, so he has that to fall back on. And have these other hobbies known. Yeah.
Well, and we're all blessed because we do have that. We do have when we're sulking and we're crying in our Cheerios in the middle of October, we get to watch another football game that weekend and get happy again. But
get fired up. Yeah.
Like I said,
anyway,
hopefully, I don't know. It's and like I said, I hate the excuse of Columbus is a small market. It's not a small market.
Yeah.
There's a lot of market. Let me tell you, you can go to an Anaheim Ducks game, which I know is a big market, but guess what? You play in the Anaheim Ducks, you're paying taxes out your rear. Okay?
Yeah.
You're paying taxes out your rear. And most of the time you're going to a stadium that's got 2,000 fans in the stands. Not a sold out nationwide arena every single night. It's not a small market. It's got a great footprint and a great opportunity and a loyal support system with Nationwide and everybody else that's in that area. It's an attractive place to play, but the culture's got to become attractive. And we can, if they can do that, then, we have some opportunity ahead, but that's got to turn.
The bottom line is it's not a circus. You know what I mean? Something could be attractive just to go see it. Right. Mm-hmm. But it's competitive sports, and the true fans want to have something to cheer for on a consistent basis. And I think this where some people, I remember this wife of a buddy of mine used to go, well, I don't understand what's the difference between going to an Ohio State football game and going to a movie? I go, because the movie, if you don't know, by the end of the movie, you're going to know what happened in the movie. If you go see it again, it'll be the same movie. Ohio State football game, you never really truly know what's going to happen most of the time. But the live sports, people eventually want to be rewarded for being a big time fan. Even the Cubs won a World Series, right? Yeah. Right on down the lines. Yeah. So anyway,
and you live it, man. Like live sports is from a passion. Yeah. It's in some cases the biggest part of people's lives, whether it should be or not. Yes. I can tell you in the fall, there's nothing that affects my mood in the fall at all like Ohio State football. That's it.
I know.
There's nothing. So
I get the text messages.
I know. You don't get as many as Matt Barnes, so don't worry. Matt Barnes gets the number one complaints because Matt's also a diehard Blue Jacket fan. So we both get to be pissed off all the time.
There you go. Hey, let me ask one more thing. I'll get out of here because I'm keeping you too long. But I did want to ask this. This isn't a when are you going to retire? Here's what I'm watching when I'm watching you. I even texted you this earlier in the season. I'm not sure you've ever driven better than you drive now. You follow my drift. You're yearning for victory just like the Blue Jackets, right? But my point is, I don't see a difference. If anything, I see a maturity about you in your driving style now. And you're not a spring chicken anymore. You're more of like the, I don't know, when a chicken becomes older, but it's still wiser, and it's still laying eggs or cock-a-doodle-doo, whatever, you know where I'm going with that. I got screwed up in my analogy there, but there's a drive to you that's obvious to me. Anybody watching you sees the same thing. When you get in that car, for example, on Sunday at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, when the race starts, no matter where you're starting from, Can you explain to people what's driving you at that very moment?
Well, for me, it's what I said earlier. What I still enjoy, what drives me to keep racing is the battles. It's the mono battle each and every weekend. And those are with different guys a lot of times. It's not always the same people. So for me, that's what I enjoy. That's what I love about it, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just like football. You can't replicate once your football career is over. You can't get well, you could, but it'd be stupid to get 11 guys and go out some rocky whatever and play a football game together, because guys are, you know what I mean, for the physical nature of it. Same thing with big time auto racing. There's nothing that replicates it. Once you're done with it, right?
I don't have a ton of years left, but I definitely still feel good and I feel competitive. I'm beating my teammates pretty good this year. So that's really your best judge of it. And I just want to, keep rolling down that path. I think we got, I think too, it's kind of what we talked about the Blue Jackets. I think the culture at RLL is changing. The culture at our race team is getting better. And that's really key. And I hope if I have any emphasis or if I have my way in the future that, and I have more of a role in that, that's what I would say. The culture of our team's got to get better. If that happens, we'll be able to attract better engineers. We'll be able to. Our current group is great, but what I'm saying is we're short-staffed and we have a hard time hiring because, if you're going to go, hey, do you want to go to RLL as an additional engineer? You want to go to Ganassi? Most guys go to Ganassi right now. So, right now we've got to move that pendulum, and the pendulum is swinging, I think. So for me, that's where my head is at. Like I want to build that culture further. That RLL is an attractive place. People want to be here. People want to work with us, and that's what I'm pushing hard to do.
Graham Rahal, thank you very much for joining the Tim May Show, my friend. I always enjoy it.
Thank you, sir.
And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, we'll see you then.